Good afternoon. Welcome to everyone here today. We are extremely excited to have you join us at this stadium where so many good memories and so many good friendships were made. And I think today's gathering here shows just how strong those friendships still are. To begin today's festivities, please welcome UW-Platteville Provost and Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs, Dr. Mitty Den Herder.
Thank you, Paul. Well, on behalf of UW-Platteville and Chancellor Dennis J. Shields, thank you to all of you here today for turning out. From our campus community, to Platteville residents, to those companies helping with the recovery, to the media, but especially to our guests from the Chicago Bears. As all of you know, I'm sure, on the night of June 16th, an EF2 tornado ripped through this campus, significantly damaging 3 residence halls, Engineering Hall, Pioneer Stadium, and Memorial Park. Our university had never seen anything like this. The damage was both incredible but heartbreaking. Yet, within minutes, so many people stepped up. If I started listing individuals or groups, it would be impossible to name everyone, and I'd be sure to leave someone out. So let me just say, it was so satisfying to see that response. It makes me and everyone else here so proud to be a pioneer. Today, we're also proud to welcome back to our campus the Chicago Bears, who made UW-Platteville their training camp home for 18 wonderful years, from 1984 to 2001. And I have to tell you that I accepted my position here in 1986. I was graduating from the University of Florida, and my friends and family were in southern Mississippi. So I had expected to have to explain where Platteville, Wisconsin was. And when I would say, well, I took a job at University of Wisconsin-Platteville, they said, oh, that's the Chicago Bears training camp. And I saw that on the Today Show this morning. So they clearly did a lot to make us nationally known. But during those years, our summers were full of the monsters of the Midway, a Super Bowl championship team, Coach Mike Ditka, Jim McMahon, The Fridge, Walter Payton, yes, the Bears and the thousands of their fans. And those were truly special times. When the Bears left our campus in 2001, they very generously donated $250,000, which was used for the computer labs and what was then our brand new student center. Today, that area, which is known as the Bears Den, is still a focal point for the university and has benefited tens of thousands of students. So to now have the Bears organization come back to help us once again is truly an inspiring gesture. Your generosity is overwhelming. Thank you, Mr. McCaskey, and the entire Chicago's Bears organization. So I'm going to close my remarks with what I think is the most appropriate quotation. Maddie Stepanek was an American poet who, before the age of 13, published 7 books, all of which reached the New York Times bestseller list. Maddie wrote, and I quote, "Unity is strength. Where there is teamwork and collaboration, wonderful things can be achieved." So from the teams gathered here today who have helped us through this tornado recovery, we are well on our way to accomplishing wonderful things. Thank you again to the Chicago Bears and to all of you.
Thank you, Provost Den Herder. At this time, we ask that the UW-Platteville Assistant Chancellor for Advancement and Executive Director of the UW-Platteville Foundation, Dennis Cooley, please step up.
Thank you very much, Paul, and a special thank you to all who turned out today to help celebrate this great gift from the Chicago Bears to the Pioneer Relief Fund. I plan to talk about the fund in a few minutes, but first I've got just a couple items. We talk a lot around about our campus about partnerships and what separates a true working partnership from other relationships we enjoy. Days like today bring this into sharp focus for me. On June 13, just 3 days before the tornado struck this campus in this area, we hosted a wonderful event honoring the legacy of former football coach and athletic director George Christ, one of the people who was pivotal in bringing the Chicago Bears to our campus for training camp 30 years ago. During that event, we heard from former UW-Whitewater football coach Bob Berezowitz on how the Bears were going to tour both UW-Platteville and UW-Whitewater on the same day to check out the facilities. Well, George Christ kept talking, and talking, keeping the Bears here so long after the time they were told to get to Whitewater. It was too dark to inspect the facilities there, and all of Coach Berezowitz's people went home early. So the next year, the Bears were at UW-Platteville. What started as a business relationship, when I think of business relationship, I start with these three right here. And if you're like me, it's kind of hard that we have a collection of talent like this. Amazing group of people. Kurt Fatzinger, everybody knows Kurt, ran the camp here for the Bears. Deb Putnam made sure the Bears were well fed while they were here. Make sure we're all well fed, which is a problem. And Steve Zilke, who was very instrumental also as Vice Chancellor for Administrative Services in bringing the Bears here. But it is kind of a motley crew, isn't it? Would we all agree with that? What started as a business relationship evolved into a strong partnership over time. I get the good fortune of hearing some of the behind-the-scenes stories about the Chicago Bears, the coaches, the players, the personalities from Mr. Zilke. When I told Kurt Fatzinger, who was our training camp director, and Deb Putnam about what Brian McCaskey and his family, the Bears organization, were planning to do here today, you could hear the excitement in their voices. Memories were made here that will last a lifetime, and the stories forged here will live on forever. Personally, I'd have to take the pleasure of talking to Mr. McCaskey today. It's only the second time in my career here at Platteville I've had that opportunity. The first was when the Bears organization sponsored the Bears Den, as Provost Dan Herter mentioned, in what was then our student center, our new student center, and what is now the David and Luann Marquis Pioneer Student Center. The Bears have made a substantial gift to help our students with technology needs by creating what is still one of the most used and significant computer and technology centers on our campus. That gift was significant then because it helped us to realize Dr. Marquis' vision of building and reshaping this campus. That building project was the catalyst for many others to come, and the gift from the Chicago Bears was so important. Today, I spoke with Mr. McCaskey briefly before we came down here, as the university faces a new and unexpected challenge from the tornado that hit our area less than a month ago. Today we are rebuilding, as you can see from the activity around us and behind us, and we'll be ready when the students come back to campus this fall. We will not be perfect, but we will be ready. The Pioneer Relief Fund was created to assist the UW-Platteville campus community. Funds we use to support students and displaced faculty and staff who are affected by the storm with needs such as food and our water, temporary housing, clothing, and other supplies. It's really the people who make this campus go. That is why the Pioneer Relief Fund was created, to assist our students, our friends, and our coworkers who've been negatively impacted by the storm. The UW-Platteville Foundation has raised more than $25,000 already through this fund, and we are overwhelmed by the gift we are about to receive from Mr. McCaskey and the Chicago Bears. Our business relationship may have ended more than a decade ago, but the Bears continue to be one of our true partners. In closing, when you think about the past 30 years and why the Bears have changed the way they do business and the way we changed the way we've done our business here, compared to the 1980s, the mid-1980s, the progress is staggering. But it all comes back to people, to partnerships, to relationships that withstand the test of time and even a tornado. Just like Steve, Kurt, and Deb represent the hundreds of UW-Platteville and community people whose lives have been touched positively by the Chicago Bears, we all stand here today as part of the new hopes and dreams of our Pioneer and Platteville family. Again, thank you all for coming here today, as we are humbled once again by our friends from Chicago. Thank you.
Thank you, Dennis. And now we'd like to hear from representing the Chicago Bears. Please welcome the Senior Director of Business Development and a member of the Chicago Bears Board of Directors, Mr. Brian McCaskey.
Thank you, Paul, and thank you all for being here. I appreciate it very much. It's nice to be back. I'm just sorry it's under these conditions and these circumstances, but it's great to see people come together in times of adversity. You know, Mike Ditka one year gave us all a Christmas gift. It was a crystal bear, and on it was engraved the words, "Tough times don't last, but tough people do." And it's great to see this campus and this community come together in these tough times. Platteville and the University of Wisconsin-Platteville has always been a special place in Bears history. And for me personally, 30 years ago when the Bears first set foot on here on campus, I was smitten by a young lady named Barb, and 30 years later I'm happy to say she's kind enough to be my wife, and I appreciate that, and mother to my children, so thank you, honey. But 30 years ago when we first came here on campus, I was 24 years old. My wife's 29. I don't understand that kind of math, but I wasn't a math person, but it was one of the greatest summers of my life. Not only on the personal side, but on the professional side, to be here and to be in this community. And in the time since, all the years coming back for holidays, hunting and fishing with Barb's brothers, I found out what ice fishing's all about, and I found out it's important to wear boots when you go ice fishing. I think they had a little fun with the Chicago kid when they did that. But I have great pictures of my son when, you know, he's just my baby at 220 pounds over there. But when he was about 2 or 3, he found his way up onto the top of that crossbar of the goalpost behind me. So that was a Kodak moment, if you will, when my heart wasn't beating out of my chest, worrying that I was going to fall 10 feet. But we're proud to call, the Bears are proud to call UWP our home. And again, this is the 30th anniversary. It's a very special place for us, and I'm happy to present this donation to the Pioneer Relief Fund in the amount of $50,000 from the Chicago Bears. When we got on campus, I handed him the real check, and I said, this big check is for show, this one's the real dough, and so he locked it up right away, and I think he wants to get to the bank before 3 o'clock, so it gets posted. So we're going to be brief, but thank you for coming. Appreciate it. Great to see blue and orange. I know that's your campus colors, but I also see some Bear colors out there. I did see a couple of Packer keychains. I'm okay with that. But thank you very much for your support. Step out here. Step out here. Move this out of the way. Yep. That's taped down, so be careful. That's fine.
Brian, before you leave, we do have a little bit of a big token, actually, of our appreciation that we set up through our foundation last year, the Platteville 1866 Cornerstone Society. It's a giving society that really means a lot to us. There's more than 250 people, corporations, and organizations that are part of this giving society, and you have to give a fair amount of money to get into it. And the Chicago Bears have been really, really wonderful to this campus over the years, and they are a founding member of the 1866 Cornerstone Society. Now, because of the times that we have our celebrations on campus, we induct our new members, they kind of coincide with the time where the Bears are the most busy. So instead of us having them come to us for an event in the summer, we're going to do this right here and right now. This is our induction ceremony. The Chicago Bears, the latest member, inducted to the 1866 Cornerstone Society at UW-Platteville. Again, thanks so much to the Bears. Our Chancellor is traveling today. He's out west in the great Northwest. He declared today the Orange and Blue Day, so we're really excited about that for both our school colors and also the colors of the Bears. Just want to make sure you know he would sign off every one of these events. We're going to change it a little, Linda. We are. By the way, mill around a little bit. This is a construction site. It's a reconstruction site, so we do have a few minutes after we're done to maybe talk with the McCaskies. They're on their family vacation, so we got to let them go too, right? But folks, just remember, no matter what happens here or anywhere, we are strong, and every day is a great day to be a Pioneer and a Bears fan.